Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store.
Yes, that is right. We are broadcasting live down here at the Tin Roof once again. Another big football game in the Motor City. Jade here alongside Ryan Armani, Braylon Edwards, Tom Madzaway. We've got the Woodward Sports Network crew. Tin Roof. The beers are flowing. We're going to see how this goes today.
That's really.
I think the show is going to be great. The football game.
Are we talking about for us or for the
for us, we're pros. Yeah. We are killing it.
Well, how about this? How about downtown Detroit, a winner today? I mean, the pregame show, the Tigers game, final home game of the season. So people are starting to file into Comerica Park right now as we speak. You got the Lions down here. So downtown Detroit, the winner today.
Hoppin'. It is absolutely hoppin'. It's going to be an interesting game. So a bunch of the Ravens players are out.
Yeah.
From what I read, the Lions have 10 players on the injured reserve list. So what's it going to be, like Pee-wee football out there?
No, I think it'll be a situation where the Lions try to capitalize on the good things they had happen in both games, try to take advantage of some things and some of the people that are missing with the Baltimore Ravens. Hey, man, if they keep small, aim small, miss small, which is the tactic from the Patriot with Mel Gibson. I think if they aim small, miss small, they'll have a much better chance to at least corral Lamar Jackson and have some success.
Look, here's the bottom line today. Nobody gives the Detroit Lions a snowball's chance and you-know-what to win this football game today. I mean, there aren't too many games in the NFL that you play on a week-to-week basis where you believe that one team doesn't have any chance to beat the other. This is one of those games today.
I've asked quite a few people. I'm like, so who's going to win today? And the response from 4 separate people was, not the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, this is just one of those games today, Maz, where you just feel like the Lions don't have any shot to win the football game.
Well, you know what? I'm in one of those pools that you have to pick one team
Survivor.
a week. A survivor pool. You're allowed to pick one team a week, but you can't pick them for the rest of the year. So you got to try to. Who are you going to pick? So I had right away on last Monday, I took the Ravens. Yesterday, I switched off. I got a feeling that the Lions are going to be in this game more than people think. I went to the Broncos this week. The spread tells me it went down 1.5 points. It tells me the Lions could play in this game for a while. And don't count them out. They're a home team. They're going to play hard. If they can get Lamar Jackson under control, they can win.
That's a big if.
Yeah,
No, I mean, I think this is one of those games. If you look at the injury list, and for both teams, they have more main injured players than we do. And also, you know, they're going to capitalize on some of the things that they did well. Dan Campbell came into this week really wanting to harp on making plays and stop beating yourself. Hey, Detroit does it every year. They beat somebody that they have no business beating, and they're in games that they have no business being in. And, Maz, I got to say, you might be onto something with that.
I was going to say, I read online that this year the Lions are going to win unexpected games.
Yes.
It's not going to be a lot of them, but there's going to be a couple unexpected games where we don't think they're going to win and they're going to come out and prove us wrong.
And to be honest, we have to say that the Ravens are flying high. What did they do last week? They beat the one team that they could not beat. Lamar Jackson beat the quarterback that he could not beat, same draft class. They may be riding too high. This may be a trap game.
And look, Lamar Jackson, one of the most dynamic players that the NFL has ever seen, okay? How do the Detroit Lions stop that guy, right? I mean, how do they do it? And that is something that, you know, you can game plan. We're going to win the football game today.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Well, I did read that earlier this week, Lamar Jackson he was not feeling well. I don't know if he had like a tummy issue or something.
Little stomach bug. That's what they call it. Yeah, a little stomach bug.
That's what they say. So I don't know. That could. Who knows if that's
last time he had a stomach bug. Last time he had a stomach bug against Cleveland, you saw what happened. He took care of business and came back and took care of business. So
he had to go to the bathroom.
Yes,
he's good in a pinch. No pun intended.
Number 2. Can I say that on the radio?
I just said pinch.
All right. Well, all of this and more coming up. It is the DraftKings Rock and Roll pregame show. We are broadcasting live down here at the Tin Roof. Ryan Armani, Braylon Edwards, Tom Madzaway, and myself. My name is Jade. Come on down and join us with 101 WRIF.
Okay.
We're so good right now.
Now what? I guess we're still on, so we'll just keep talking. Can you throw our... Thank you.
I'm excited. This has been a good weekend so far.
Yeah.
Michigan State took care of business in a close one. So did Michigan.
I was there. I was in East Lansing.
You were in East Lansing?
I was in East Lansing.
Maz, tell me about the vibe up there against Nebraska. Nebraska did everything that they could besides not turn the ball over to win that game. Tell me about the atmosphere.
Honestly, it was great. We were there from like 2 o'clock. We got there about 2 o'clock for a 7 o'clock game. And my wife's friends were there. They invited us to tailgate. And I had no plans on going to the game. And that's the first time I ever went to a tailgate with no plans on going to the game.
Isn't that the best thing, though, kind of?
You know what?
Because you got to get a chance to get the Michigan State field for the tailgate against Nebraska last night. But, Ryan, you got a chance to get the Michigan experience. You got a chance to get the Michigan experience. Tell me about the energy, and it was a close game. And as you talked about Greg Schiano, Team Schiano, and what he's able to do and get his players ready to play. Talk about Michigan being able to come back and win that.
Braylon, I was all lathered up in Ann Arbor yesterday.
Oh,
right? I mean,
man.
I'll tell you.
I saw the group chat.
That was the first time I was there since 2019 because obviously last year we didn't have fans at the big house, and then this year with some prior commitments just couldn't get there this year. But that was the first game I had been to. The experience, 3:30 game. You get there, you tailgate, found our good friend Drew Lane. Oh, we're going to send it over to Kennedy now. All right, Kennedy's back here. Hey, Kennedy.
Kennedy from the Cuervo Zone here with my girl Emily. We're friends right now, but it's hard because she's clearly a Ravens fan, but it's her first time in Detroit, and she is loving it. So tell me, what's your favorite thing about Detroit so far?
So coming from Baltimore is like a fun city, but I feel that Detroit is even funner city. There's so much to do. It's like we went to a bar yesterday and it was so much fun and like so crazy. And it seems like a super fun city. I mean, we had a great time.
So confirmed, even if the Lions don't win today, Detroit is at least a more fun city than Baltimore. But Baltimore does have hairspray, which we were bonding over a second ago. We both love hairspray, so we're bonding over that. But, okay, obviously we've got to talk some football. We can't talk musicals right now. Tell me what you thought about Lamar Jackson being out for so long this week. Are you freaked out about it? What do you expect from him?
So Lamar is Lamar. We know Lamar is Lamar, and he is wonderful. He bounces back very quickly. I have no doubt in my mind he's going to go off today.
All right, so what are you thinking? Who's winning this game today?
Girl, you know who's winning. Baltimore.
All right, well, thank you so much, Emily, for hanging out with me. Back to you, Braylon and Ryan.
All right, I guess we are back here. All right, Kennedy, thank you so much. So, Braylon, yes, so yesterday in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Look, you have a stinker every now and again. I told you all week long you weren't going to have a blowout against Rutgers. Greg Schiano's a good
That's not what you were saying yesterday.
Well, yesterday I was all lathered up on the text screen. I was all lathered up on the text.
We won't hold that against you. We know what happens when you go to games live.
Good.
Look at everyone waving to Ryan here.
He's the man.
I mean, we're like the redheaded stepchild.
Here's some fun outside of sports football yesterday. Here's 4 things quick and fast that I observed yesterday that I enjoyed. Anthony Joshua is a bum. Like, I watched him.
The heavyweight champ, talking boxing.
No. The former heavyweight champ. He lost to WBA, the WBO, and the IBF.
Yeah, nice going, Anthony.
Yesterday. Yeah, Anthony just didn't look good. It's the second time he's got exposed by someone people don't know. He got exposed by Andy Ruiz, came back, defended, got his title. But yesterday, he just looked awful. He looked out of sorts. And keep in mind, Usyk came up from the cruiserweight division. So he was 30 pounds lighter than Anthony Joshua came up and got that. Also, hottest team in baseball right now, St. Louis Cardinals, 15-game winning streak, which is the third longest winning streak in September since the modern World Series era. Maz, tell me about the St. Louis Cardinals.
How does it happen,
I can't name 5 Cardinals, yet they continue to be a pain in the you-know-what. And
it's
you
like
know
once every 9 years.
I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs, to be perfectly honest with you. But they're going in red hot. You know how that goes. That wild card team that comes in hot, no one wants to play them. The Mets were eliminated yesterday, by the way. Congrats to the New York Mets.
You know what?
Speaking of New York,
you know what's crazy though? But if I could just jump in here, Braylon. First off, I didn't even know. It's so sad to me that I didn't even know there was a heavyweight championship fight yesterday.
Neither did I.
They were in London. It came on at 5 o'clock. I watched it at the halftime of the Michigan game. It was weird. I watched it. I turned at halftime. I said, "Oh wow!" It was on DAZN Design.
Yeah.
I watched it at halftime, and then I turned back and see Michigan's in trouble too. But
I mean, boxing is
just
one of the best all-time sports
No doubt.
of my childhood, of my youth, and how The heavyweight championship of the world could be decided.
Terrible.
I'm in the sports world, and I had no idea the fight was even had.
So 2 things. One, there's another heavyweight championship coming up, Wilder versus Fury 3, October 9th. That's in 2 weeks.
Unless they postpone it again for the 10th time.
I know, right? But but the flip side of that is that Logan Paul and Jake Paul and what they're creating with Fight, Triller, as well as Showtime, are they taking some of the attention away from the heavyweight world and HBO, et cetera? Like, is that Logan and Jake?
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. But yesterday should not have happened without us really knowing what's going on. And why are you fighting at 5 in the afternoon? Where was the fight?
Because he was fighting a plumber until the plumber actually had hands.
Where was it?
It was in London. It's at Wembley, I think.
Okay, so it's 11 o'clock there.
Here's the last thing I'll say about boxing. Mike Tyson, and I mean this with all sincerity, could come back and win the heavyweight championship.
For what? I agree with you. When I saw in that first round against Roy Jones last year, you saw that he didn't want to hurt Roy. I agree with you. Switching subjects, but keeping subjects. How about those Yankees? Giancarlo Stanton, 452-foot grand slam to win the game yesterday against the Red Sox, who are both fighting with the Yankees and Red Sox, trying to get that wild card spot. Man, the Bash brothers, they always seem to come through lately.
I'll tell you, you don't want to play the Yankees either. You do not want to play the Yankees. I mean, they're starting to get hot again. They play the Red Sox again tonight. If they beat them, they take the lead in the wild card race.
Look, here's the deal in the American League. Okay, we know that we expect the Dodgers to come out of the West, right? I mean, out of the National League.
By the way, our team, the Padres, eliminated last night as well.
Unbelievable. Can't believe it. What a set.
Tatis finished strong.
In the rise of the Giants, San Francisco Giants, 100 games they've won.
Gabe Kapler.
Unbelievable.
They threw him out of Philly.
The K-Swiss man.
He's going to be manager of the year in San Francisco.
So we expect that to be the case, that the Dodgers come out of the National League. But in the American League, I do feel like that's a wide-open race.
Tampa Bay won again.
I understand Tampa Bay, but do they have the horses?
I think they do.
Do they have the horses to get you through a game 6 and 7?
I think they do. I mean, they got Nelson Cruz midseason.
I'm talking on the mound.
That's going to be the guy. On the mound, sure. You know, he's going to pitch guys 3, 4, 5 innings.
Yeah.
Kevin Cash, it's the new way that he manages. I don't like it, but that's what they do. They know how to win.
Speaking of knowing how to win, we were talking about the Ryder Cup on Friday and talking about how Europe has dominated. Well, guess what? Team USA is up 6 on the Europe this year. They are killing it, especially.
We just did a sports update.
I mean, coming in hot today, Braylon Edwards.
Hey, give it up right here.
Especially the team of Dustin Johnson and Morikawa. Oh, my God. You're talking about a 60-foot putt. Yeah, they're just playing so well. I think they're tired of people talking about them losing to Europe. And also, Team Europe came in with the cheeseheads in Wisconsin. That's almost like stumping on your home turf. And then they came in with attitude, and I think Team USA has rallied, and they're showing why they have 6 of the top 10 golfers in the world.
It's going to be an interesting Sunday right over there in Whistling Straits. We'll see. I mean, the USA has not had much success in Ryder Cup matches prior, but
they got the best golfers in the world right now playing on the U.S. side. Maybe that's why they're winning now.
Here's a little side note. No one has ever come back from a 5-0 lead, and USA is up 6-0.
Look at that.
So
unbelievable. Braylon Edwards. I mean, I'm telling you, Braylon Edwards came to play
like
today, everybody.
Center.
He came to play today, everybody. We are at the Tin Roof, the old Chili's Chili Bar here in downtown Detroit with our teammates from 101 WRIF. With a little DraftKings Rock and Roll pregame show.
Sir.
We appreciate you watching in on YouTube, on Twitter, wherever else you're watching us here on Woodward Sports Network. And I'll tell you, Braylon, Maz, this is a Lions football game today. We're not many people are giving them a chance to win. But defensively, how do you go about trying to stop a guy in Lamar Jackson who is so dynamic? You really don't know which way, even on broken plays, even when you think you got him bottled up. How do you get to a guy like that? And Braylon, were you ever in a game? I mean, I try to think of those Ohio State quarterbacks of back in Troy Smith or somebody like that, where you just feel like the Michigan defense has no chance.
Who's running the scout team, by the way, and who's pretending they're Lamar Jackson on the Lions and practice?
So typically,
don't even have a guy like that.
So here's the thing: typically, when you play in games like this, where you're playing against a quarterback that has mobile ability, and not even just mobile ability at the highest level. Sometimes what coaches do is they don't have a quarterback imitate Lamar Jackson, what they do is they get a wide receiver, and they put him out there, and they let him do the plays, especially the running plays, so they can really emulate it. Because a wide receiver is able to kind of run like Lamar.
Even our wide receivers?
They're still receivers. Like, you can't see how good they are athletically because the Lions haven't had complete success this season. But, later on, the next segment, when we get back with our partners in W101 The Riff, I'll break down how the Lions could potentially corral Lamar Jackson.
I'm excited for that. We'll get the Inactives as well coming up at 11:30, about an hour and 10 minutes from now, Maz. There are some players expected out on both sides. The Ravens, of course, with COVID issues, and the Lions, just players who are just flat out unavailable.
Yeah.
Now, listen, 4 defenders, including Justin, one of their best guys, their linebacker. Who am I missing here? Oh, Justin Houston.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping me. Thanks, Jade.
No, we were waiting for you guys.
Anyway.
We knew you would get it.
He had the stomach ache, Lamar Jackson, this week. So a lot of people, first they said he hurt his hip when he flipped into the end zone last week. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah, we did.
Then they said, no, it's not his hip. Maybe it's COVID because he's got the stomach ache. Maybe he's just starting, but it doesn't look like it's COVID yet unless he's a late scratch. We'll find out in about 20 minutes from now.
That's right. Actually, I thought it was 10:30.
That's okay.
I thought it was 10:30. Here we are coming up 10 minutes away from the 11:30 inactive list.
Somebody had a good weekend.
Look, I mean, I was all sideways yesterday in Ann Arbor, guys. Oh, right.
As you should be.
Hey, you got on the big screen.
Yeah, I did. I got on the
that.
big screen. And leave it to our good friend Mark Fellauer of Drew and Mike podcast fame over there. He puts me on his Twitter account. Because I went with a buddy of mine. We looked at each other. We were laughing at each other. He was like, thankfully there was no kiss cam at Michigan Stadium. I said, this guy's got to be killing me over here.
At least you didn't get caught at the buffet like I did a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, it was good. They had a lot of pig over there at that little house.
Yeah, I would have killed you if I saw you kissing.
We talked so much about the Lions defensively and how they're going to try to stop Lamar Jackson. What about the offense? I mean, that's where they stay in this, right? Dan Campbell said last week against Green Bay that he blamed the offense for not winning that game last week. And the reason he blamed them is because you're thin on the defense. You have got to keep scoring. You've got to keep putting some pressure on.
It's time for Braylon's Breakdown on the DraftKings Rock and Roll Pregame Show on 101 WRIF.
Yes, that's right. Braylon is going to break it down for us. We are broadcasting live here at the Tin Roof for the DraftKings Rock and Roll Pregame Show. That guy just threw me off in the mask there. People are into it. He is a huge Lions fan. He's got the jammy pants.
He's a wrestler.
He's got the wrestling mask on.
Lucha Libre.
That's the masked marvel.
He's ready to rock. So Braylon, break it down for us. How are the Lions going to win this game today?
Well, speaking of Marvel, as you said over there, Maz, if you're familiar with alternate universes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, then you know that there's a ton of different realities for one thing. And so if we were in an alternate universe and we weren't in ours and we were talking about the Lions beating the Baltimore Ravens, one of the main things that they're going to have to do is they're going to have to corral Lamar Jackson. Going to have to force him to be a pocket quarterback. Whenever he gets a chance to step outside the pocket, and we know the old thing, guys that can run, they step outside the pocket, they cause confusions because defensive backs can't last that long. But if you keep him in middle linebacker spy zone, that's what you do is you rush the outside guys, you keep the middle linebacker in there, and you have the safety spy, the quarterback. That's the only chance they'll have at corralling him. Turn him into a pocket quarterback. Force him to stay in, and then keep the middle backer with the safety as a spy. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, we've seen it. You saw DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams in the first game of the season. You saw DeAndre Swift at the end of the game last week against the Green Bay Packers, earlier this week, jumping over their guy. The guy is healthy. Keep the run going. Keep him off balance. We've seen Jared Goff operate, being behind, scoring getting 300 yards against the 49ers. We saw him starting the game off and being on point, getting the ball down there. That was one of the best throws I've ever seen, the one he threw to T.J. Hockenson in terms of ball placement. So that's how you beat them, man. You just continue what you did in first and second half. Let Garrett Goff, let him be relaxed. Keep him relaxed. Don't force him to be in a situation one way or other where you're passing early and then you won't run late. Or you run early and then you won't run late. So that's how they win. That's Braylon's Breakdown, and that's Marvel Cinematic Universe, baby.
Look at that, Braylon Edwards. I'm telling you, Jay, look, the Lions have got to do everything they can to keep Lamar Jackson off the football field today. And if that means you got to rush the ball 40 to 50 times to keep that clock moving, you got to do it. Because the Lions have shown this year that they do have success, Maz, in running the football.
There's one other thing. I'm sorry, man.
No, go ahead, bro.
Just before I forget with all the energy down here, the one other thing they have to do, and it's not illegal, what you do is show your weight on a quarterback. When you're tackling Lamar Jackson, don't allow him just to pop back up. Don't have light tackles and you roll off. Make it hard for him to get up. Like, that's one thing that Ndamukong Suh was good at. When he was here, he would fall on quarterbacks, and he would take his sweet time getting up. Make it hard for Lamar Jackson every play, but well within the rules of the rule book.
It would be nice to have Ndamukong Suh here right now.
Blew that
different team. Yeah, we did blow that thing.
I got to be honest, though, being, Lions fans for years, watching, our offense and then watching the opposing team offense, we have a really hard time getting to their quarterback, whereas it's not the same the other way around. Like, I just feel like our quarterback is just constantly, Stafford for years was always on the lookout because they could not keep him blocked and couldn't keep him with range to go anywhere.
Now, that has been an area of strength for the Lions this year, though. Jared Goff has had
time. It's been 2 games, but sure.
Sure, right.
Comfortable pocket.
But you take what you can get, right? I mean, and we talk about this, and people are probably going to get sick of us talking about this throughout the season. The Lions are not expected to do anything this year in terms of wins and losses. They're not going to win many games. But moving forward, you're trying to pull a piece here, a piece there. Can I win with this guy next year? Is this guy going to be on my team when we expect to compete for a playoff berth? Could I envision this player right here as a guy that could play that position on a Super Bowl championship contending team? So you're trying to find 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 guys from this year's group that can play for you next year. And then again the year beyond. And that's out of a roster of 53 players. You're probably trying to find you probably got 10 guys on your team now that will play for you next year, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, when you're going to compete for what you hope is a playoff berth.
Yeah, 100%. And the other side of that is the Lions have never gone after outside linebackers and the in-rush guys. Like, even with the exception of Ezekiel Ansah, you've never seen anybody like rush the quarterback or have 15 sacks, 14 sacks, 13 sacks. Lions have always more so focused on the interior defensive linemen and Ndamukong Suh, guys like that. So that's another thing you see is they never go after those guys, and that could be something to look at this offseason, actually finally getting a guy that can come off the end and rush the ball. When you talk about teams that are successful, you're not only talking about their quarterbacks. They usually have a great left tackle as well as a great left rush in.
We'll have to see. It's just them playing the game, not getting stupid penalties, which is what we've seen a few times in the first couple of games. There's an interesting stat that I read. The Ravens have actually given up the second most yards in the league after 2 games. So
that's surprising.
Was last week's game? I mean, it was a close game, 36-35 against
Look who
the
they
Chiefs.
played against.
They played the Raiders and the Chiefs, two of the best offenses in the entire league. So. Look,
so for them 2 offenses to the Lions.
Right. Those 2 offenses lit them up. Now, what will the Lions offense do? We'll see. They do have a chance to score some points today, especially, and we'll get the inactives in a couple of minutes for the Baltimore Ravens and the Detroit Lions. But if they've got 4 defensive starters out and the Lions' strength is their offense, Braylon, they should be able to put up some points today.
Yeah, they should. One thing about it is just keep going back to what I saw in the first half, man, with T.J. Hockenson. They were moving him across the formation. And one thing what happens when you move with tight end across the formation, it shows you what the coverage is. So it makes it easier for Jared Goff to read the coverage and knows where he wants to go with his throws. So, I mean, they have Quintez Cephas, they have Hockenson, and I'm just really excited about the run game. We keep talking about the run game. Have some consistency. Trust in the run game. If they would have trusted in the run game in the second half of the Green Bay game, they could have had some more success.
I agree with you.
So trust in the run game, but don't be afraid to use the play action in the pass game, because that's when Jared Goff is comfortable.
You've basically got to play a perfect game, though. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
If you're going to win this game, the Lions have to play a perfect game, and the Ravens have to play less than an average game.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Derek Barnes today, right? We get to see Derek Barnes at linebacker, and
4th round pick.
Jamie Collins is going to be inactive again today as they seek to trade him. So you got a whole new linebacker core, and we've been begging for a linebacker here since
Chris Spielman,
DeAndre Levy, and Tulloch, right? That's the last 2 big names that have been here that have done anything. We need them. We need the linebackers bad today.
And I believe Derek Barnes is going to wear Steven Tulloch's number 55 as well, so we'll see.
Oh, man.
We will see. It's going to be a good game. Of course, we're broadcasting live down here at the Tin Roof. It's the DraftKings Rock and Roll pregame show on 101 WRIF. We'll be back in a little bit. Right now, it's Chevelle on the ref.
We are at Lady Jane's World Headquarters in Birmingham. It is week 3 in the NFL. Checking in with fans, checking the pulse to see how they feel about the Lions and Ravens. We are making the cut. All right, I'm here with Al now. Al, why are you covering your face first off?
You didn't have a paper bag.
Oh, man, brutal. Lions, you need the paper bag already?
SOL.
Oh, same old Lions. So, all right, you don't think there's any chance they beat the Ravens this week? Zatsky, 0.
00.
00. No hope in the Lions this week. Al needs a paper bag. All right, we got Gabe here. Gabe, any hope in the Lions this week, first off?
Baltimore's a pretty good team. I think it's going to be a tough go for the Lions.
Yeah, I think that's how we all feel about it so far. All right, but every Lions fan, I feel, has a second team. Do you have a second team that you root for?
The Raiders for sure.
Raiders. Win, 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 loss.
For them, man. Win.
All right, we got Jeff here. Jeff, talk to me about the Lions-Ravens this week. Do you give them any chance?
I would love to think they have a chance because I'm a huge Lions fan, but given the history and the rebuilding, I'd say maybe about a 20% chance.
Okay, so that's not 0. Do you like Dan Campbell? Do you think he's building towards something, though?
Very much. Yeah, I like him a lot. Yep.
You know what? We got to end with this guy. We found some optimism, and that's where we're going to leave it. Great to be optimistic. Love it. We are right back here on Woodward Sports. We are at the Tin Roof in downtown Detroit, the old Shelley's. Downtown Detroit is packed here. Yeah. Ryan Armani, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway. We've got Jade in here as well, our teammates over at 101 WRIF. Lions pregame show, we're going to be giving tickets away, and we're going to be giving away the Calvin Johnson signed photo. Yep. The downtown is packed today because the Tigers play 30 minutes from now, the final home game of the season for them. You've got the Lions across the street. It's
and look what's at Ford Field today.
The bust.
The bust of Calvin Johnson from the Hall of Fame is here today. And, of course, this is Calvin Johnson's celebration day. He'll get his Hall of Fame ring at the half and hopefully a check for $2.5 million.
Now, you don't fully expect that to happen, right?
Me and Braylon said that's going to happen.
He keeps taking the price up. I said I agree with the 1.6, but everything else is math. Speaking of Calvin Johnson, speaking of energy and the Tigers playing the same time as the Lions, last time that I was around town at the same time the Lions played the Tigers would have been 2013, I want to say. Yep. That's when the Lions had Monday Night Football against the Giants. And because the Tigers won that day in the playoffs, the energy was there. The Lions fed off the Tigers' energy, and I'm telling you, that's how the city works. Everybody is down here to see Detroit win sports. So I'm telling you, the Tigers and Lions can feed off each other today and be a good deal.
The game for the Lions today, and I want to go back to the offensive side of the football, and we mentioned it when we were on Riff a moment ago, just talking about the run game. How can the Lions stay in this game today, Braylon? That running attack really has to get
interceptions. It goes back to what you said, with the teams like that, with the Lions. The Lions, what the Lions need to do, what they need to be able to do is keep from making the mistakes. The Lions have to believe in themselves. That's what we were talking about, is that belief. The Lions in the past, in the last couple decades or so, they just haven't believed in themselves. They start off slow, then they come back fast, maybe we can't hang with this team. Or they start off fast, and then they're like, well, maybe we cannot hang with those teams. So, for them, they got to just believe in themselves, put 4 quarters together, and we'll see what happens. But Maz has something for us right now. What you got for us, Maz?
Not off the presses. We got the Inactives. You ready for this?
Here we go.
Ready.
A couple of big old free agent signings from a couple of years ago. Trey Flowers, inactive.
Wow.
Jamie Collins, senior, inactive. Rookie Jamar Jefferson, and our favorite guy, Tom Kennedy, all inactive today. Tomorrow. So 3 games is over after today. If he's healthy enough, maybe Taylor Decker comes back, and then here we go. Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker. What are you going to do? But those of you who are inactives for the Lions, I'll get you the Ravens.
I've got them right now, in fact. Let's go. Defensive end Derek Wolfe is out. The offensive tackle Ronnie Stanley is out. So there's an opportunity for the Lions to get after the quarterback a little bit with Stanley out.
And they've already had issues at linemen, too, so that works for the Lions.
And our Darius Washington, the safety, is out. So 2 defensive players and a safety. You mentioned the linebacker. He is
Justin
active.
Houston.
He is
so he's COVID-free?
He is COVID-free, apparently. He is active today for the Baltimore
Ravens. Let's take a look at that spread now. Let's see what the spread is.
Take a look at that. So, again, Braylon, I'll go back to this. If the Lions are going to stay around.
Just not a team that you can beat without scoring points. So they're going to have to find ways into the end zone. It goes through the run. But also, not only through the run, though, just be confident in your arm, though. Take what the Baltimore Ravens give you. They have injuries. Marcus Peters, everything doesn't have to be a home run. It doesn't have to be a life or death play. Take what they give you, run the ball, and you can slow it down a little bit.
I'm curious to see here today, too, Hollywood Brown
of
the Baltimore Ravens wide receivers. He is fast. Yeah. He's got speed. Greasy, fast speed. Okay,
you catch that chicken and you catch grease.
And you've got a Lions secondary that is banged up beyond belief. You're out there now with Amani Oruwariye. You're out there with Darryl Worley, Bobby Price, A.J. Parker, Corey Ballantyne. I'm telling you, you guys probably haven't heard of 4 of those 5 defensive backs that are going to go today for the Detroit Lions.
The Cuervo girls are here, though.
Yeah.
You might need to feed Hollywood Brown some Cuervo. Being able to have the mobility that he has, and he's so electric, he buys time for Hollywood Brown to be able to torch the secondary, get to wherever he wants to be. So they gotta force him to be a pocket passer, but you got to spy. You got to double jump Hollywood Brown.
And Mark Andrews as well. Just one of the most dynamic players in the NFL. I mean, you're hoping that T.J. Hawkinson can turn into a Mark Andrews type player, right?
They're very similar right now. You know what? Mark Andrews just got paid, so when Hawk's rookie deal is over, if he keeps going, he's going to get paid as well. Yeah. By the way, the spread 7.5, 50.5 for the over/under. So let's see, how many points did the Lions give up? 32.
So for 8 straight games, the Lions have given up 30-plus points.
Yeah. Okay.
We all fully anticipate that to happen
so
today.
Let's 35.
Can the Lions get to 16?
Yes, they can.
Look, can the Lions score 17 points today?
Yes.
Yeah, I think.
Yes.
I mean,